Morning, everybody. Michelle is here. Today is May 2nd, 2026. And I've been up and at it. Slept well last night. And I need to take care of some things. Because I told you, there's a lot of uncertainty in my life right now. I'm taking on some activity I have never done in my life. And I'm really, really excited about it. Now, there were some hiccups, which I expect, meaning certain things didn't work as they were advertised to work. Certain things didn't fit as they were advertised to fit. So my point is, that comes with the territory. But I wanted to come on through and say to you, if you feel like breaking down and feel as though you're losing it, that's more likely expected than not, than pretending that you got everything all together and you can handle this and you can handle that. These moments are crazy making. In other words, our current situation is crazy making, especially when it relates to the weather. A lot of people are questioning the weather and they want to point blame. Well, the blame game is over. These moments that we are facing accumulated decades ago, hundreds of years ago. And so we're in the consequences of it. So yes, Mother Nature is unpredictable for a reason. And in most cases, sadly, a lot of the damage has been done. So excuse my face. Sometimes I have shit all over my face. Not shit, literally, but stuff all over my face, and I don't know that it's on my face until I upload the video, but I ain't reading, recording, nothing. So, if you feel like you are about to lose it, and I mean that literally, and as well figuratively and metaphorically, you ought to. These are troubling times. And if you develop yourself during your upbringing and your adolescence, you're more likely to be able to handle these situations that we're all facing. It's just make sure you have the proper support around you, especially if you take medication. Make sure you let your therapist or psychiatrist or whoever's treating or assisting you know that, hey, I feel vulnerable right now. I feel, because you will. And so don't pretend that none of these things are affecting you. They are. I know they are. But it doesn't have to come out in your behaviors and actions. Okay? Just because you're about to break down doesn't mean you need to bring everybody down. Okay? You need to handle that and work on that individually by yourself. And you can have the support around you while you're doing that. In other words, don't take your frustrations out on other people, especially as you are driving. You can tell sometimes about these drivers, they're so distracted. So they disregard other drivers. They want to cut into other vehicles. They just have to get over. They have no patience to wait and allow traffic to flow naturally. So be kind and gentle with yourself when you go through those moments. Pull your ass over. Okay, pull your ass over into a parking lot somewhere and ground yourself. Okay, before you start hurting yourself and sadly hurting other people. Especially like I said, with your driving. There's no reason that we have all this. It appears to be a record amount of hit and runs all over the country where people are slamming into people because of their foolishness and frustrations, and they're taking it out on everybody else. There's no need for that. So do everything in your power to take accountability and responsibility for your actions and behaviors and stop blaming other people. Okay? Stop it. I mean, these, I can look at some of these drivers when I'm stopped at a light, and you can see the intensity in their face, how they're holding the steering wheel so tight. There's a lot of anxiety going on, and it ought to be, because we're in bottleneck traffic. No one is getting ahead of anyone in this traffic. Even if we had flying vehicles, you heard that BS. I mean, well, it might be. I mean, come on, think about it. If you have bottleneck traffic, you're gonna have bottleneck flying vehicles. Bottleneck. We have extreme bottleneck, even with the driverless vehicles. Okay, bottleneck is bottleneck. Okay, and even there's bottleneck in the skies. Okay, that's why we need these air traffic controllers. And I know there's more near miss with the planes than what is being reported. Okay, so my point is, handle your business in a responsible manner, and don't involve other people that have nothing to do with your situation. I put a post out somewhere. Imagine going through your life, and I say this to the hierarchical structure of people, these so-called privileged people, the pedigree. Imagine going through your life because you didn't do your research, blaming other people for why you are in a current situation, good, bad, or ugly. And then you realize those are people that had nothing to do with your situation. Okay? It's called cause and effect, reaping what you've sown, whether you're aware of it or not. And cause and effect will keep coming up out of my mouth, because that's all energy. It's a form of energy, and we cannot escape that. So yeah, your life may have been beautiful back in the 50s, which is which is nothing more, nothing less than delusion and hallucination. Because a lot of people say, oh, the 50s, you were probably 5 years old and you have no clue what the hell was going on, because your parents probably didn't tell you. They sheltered you. Okay? And I'm saying this to these so-called intellectuals who, just can't tie their shoe to save them. They don't even know how to tie shoes. There's a lot of people that were that were sheltered to a point of abuse. Okay, they were sheltered and not allowed to grow up, experience positive, negative, whatever, experience mistakes, failures, and be held accountable for it. Instead of having mommy and daddy, doing whatever they do underhandedly to protect you. Now it's all coming back. You now gotta, make a living for yourself. You gotta provide the basics for yourself. And I would say over 70% of those 40 years and under are not prepared at all. It shows in the results. That's not theories and opinions. It shows up in results. What kind of results are we getting? We're getting spinning results, meaning we're spinning in place and nothing is getting done, and we have extreme bottleneck on top of that. So I'm going to keep repeating certain things. I know a lot of people do not understand the power of energy. Well, I do. And so I'm going to keep repeating. And at some point, a large majority of you are going to snap out of it and get a grip and realize, how the tables have been turning for decades upon decades upon decades, and you were just missing from the table. Talk to you soon.